Hello, hello, and welcome to ohmTown Daily, the news show powered by ohmTown.com. Today is April 3rd, 2024. It's Season 3, Episode 94. Today we're going to be talking about surge baggage, Nightshift Photos, moon time, German elephants, Fisker probably not setting sail, bet you can't hear me now, trashed in the Magic Kingdom, sterilization gas may be linked to something bad. There are Waymo Uber drivers and deliveries, and amateur meteorologists on tracks. I'm Mayor Watt, that's ohmTown.com, and up there is the visualizer, the latest iteration of for our sentient AI, the one and only from on high. You want to say hi?
Good evening, ohmTown citizens.
Hey, welcome. Let me scoot up to the desk a little bit, and we're going to get into today's show. But first, a message from our, not really a sponsor, it's the site. Guess what isn't playing to everybody? I'm going to do it again. Our production value is off the charts, but that's okay. We gather up all of the news and none of the noise, and then we add our particular toots and whistles and bangs and whatever else you want to call it from our soapboxes. Let's get into the first article. So the first article is over on the Hatch Ideas channel at ohmTown.com. Maybe one of the ones that will be discussed spinning up here in the coming weeks. Maybe. We'll see. Well, how about the article that was aggregated is a major U.S. airline is rolling out dynamic pricing for baggage fees based on peak and off-peak flight dates. JetBlue, stepping into the ring of stupidity, set specific dates through 2025 when baggage fees will be higher because greed knows no bounds, and setting a flat price per flight. You know. You
want to do that?
You want to know why there's so many bags on a flight? It's because they take other flights' bags and they throw them onto your flight so that they can be routed to the next destination and routed again to their further destination in whatever they deem is the most efficient and effective way. And that's how you end up with lost luggage, because it gets routed incorrectly.
Thank goodness for air tags.
Hey, yeah, you can track them exactly to where they're being stolen. So the article is over at entrepreneur.com, and Emily Rella is the author. The deck statement is what I already said, but if you go over to entrepreneur.com, I'm sure you'll find it. But you can follow the link that is in the show notes and in the VOD. And it'll take you over there to ohmTown.com, where you can click on visit the source and then go right on to ye old destination. It's kind of like a layover, like on an airplane, except that nothing will be lost or dinged or banged up. And the only thing you'll have to do really is read the little deck statement and visit the source. There you go. Look at that. It's pretty simple. Well, anyway, several U.S. airlines have been raising baggage fees for passengers, with some, such as American Airlines, offering customers a lower price if they pay ahead. Now, JetBlue is trying a different strategy. If you're late, the surge pricing is dependent on the overall popularity of a given flight date. So you never know exactly what you're going to end up paying, but they know how much greed they can actually squeeze from the lemon.
So you're probably paying more for the fare already because of that.
Right, right. Yeah. They just keep on squeezing and squeezing, right? But this is the elasticity of demand and bulk rate and all of this basic economics stuff. Economics 101 basically teaches you those two processes, and they'll just keep on squeezing until you say, shit, I've had enough. I'm done with flying. But there's always going to
It's
be
already
some.
ridiculous. You're already paying a fee to pick a seat. You're already paying a fee to bring a carry-on. You're already paying a fee to check a bag. Pretty soon you're going to pay a fee to sit in the seat that you have reserved.
Yeah, you've already paid for the flight, but the seat isn't included. You just have this ephemeral, theoretical thought of going from destination A to Z. You have to pay a special fee to actually sit your butt physically in that. So the prices jumped to $50 for the first bag during peak dates and $70 for the second bag. But in February, JetBlue had already increased its checked bag fee from $45 for the first and $60 for the second. So these will be the prices for dates deemed off-peak on domestic flights, all blue, blue basic, and blue extra tiered tickets. Pretty wild. Yeah. So what they want you to do is just move your corpse from one side to the other and don't bring anything else. You got to just be naked, because any additional ounce.
That's what I don't get. I mean, do they really expect somebody to travel and not have some kind of bag?
Yeah, apparently all of your stuff, folks, too heavy for the bolts. I know, too soon. It's always going to be too soon. The next article, though, is over in ohmTown Daily as well. A hospital worker notices mysterious photos appearing during night shift. Someone has been secretly placing tiny photo cutouts of their cat onto the hallway artwork.
Hey, this is good.
We hope it isn't ominous. Okay, so it's over at newsweek.com. This article has a video, but it has nothing to do with actual material, the materiality of the article itself. Liz O'Connell is the pets reporter for Newsweek, apparently. While another April Fool's Day has come and gone with its tricks and not so funny jokes, a lot of them weren't really funny. One prank that started before the Trickster's Day in the hospital, or in a hospital, is still holding out with no end in sight, and viewers are obsessed. The hospital worker on night shift, who is known on TikTok as KAAG13, CAG13, or is it KAG with double A's, recently noticed an added piece of art to the hallway photos that isn't normally there. Someone decided to turn the artwork into a little fun game by passing by. For those passing by, I should say, someone taped cutouts of their cat to all of the pictures at my work. So let me see if I can pull up a picture. It's going to be TikTok. What? Select two objects that are the same. All right.
You can test it in front of your viewers.
Oh, say somebody's taping little cats to the. Let me rewind.
Oh, like into the scene.
Yeah. So you walk down the hallway. Hey, wait a minute. What do? Yeah, so it's somebody, for those in the podcast, they're basically showing pictures of these landscapes.
That one had its paws hanging over a log or something.
Yeah. So it's this basic, your basic standard issue cat. And it's in various positions, like leaning over a log or hiding behind a tree or sitting on a log, hiding in the bush. This one's climbing up a log.
onto a log.
They've taken a lot of pictures of their cat just in... Oh, and people. Ah.
I'm not sure
Sorry,
what
Mike.
that had to do with it at the end.
Mike Tyson standing there. Yeah, that's pretty funny. So the person who came up with the idea printed out cats of their pictures of their own cat and masterfully hid them within the hallway artwork, and the tiny cat pictures are barely noticeable. Takes a keen eye to spot the cat among the landscapes. It's pretty fun. I love that kind of stuff. I hope that whoever it is doesn't get into trouble because it's really lighthearted. But, you know,
It
there's
is,
always
and
some...
it's a great way to bring enjoyment to people that's harmless.
Yeah, there's always somebody, though, you know? Just kind of poo-poos the whole... Let me turn that off. There we go. Yeah, all right. So, fun. Follow the link. You'll be able to go and check it out yourself. Let's go. Next article's over in the Mobile Channel. Now NASA has to figure out how to tell time on the moon.
Well, they haven't figured out GPS yet.
Yeah, everything's a lawn dart. Let's hope that they get this situated sometime after they figure out GPS. And we're not joking, okay? So NASA is actually trying to figure out a GPS method in space so that people can, or ships can get from Earth to the moon and Mars, because it's computationally complex and they want to be able to just Uber. NASA and its international partners have big plans when it comes to the moon. They want to build a telescope on it. They want to build trains on it. They want to build a lunar base. They want to mine it. They want to chat with the aliens on the dark side of it. Yeah. So plans will require careful syncing of Earth-based clocks with those on the moon. And moon time is naturally going to be different than Earth time. It is...
Because it takes less time for a rotation, essentially.
Well, it goes around the Earth. So is that a moon year because it orbits around, or is a moon year around the sun around the Earth? And then it rotates itself, right?
Yeah, I'm not really sure about that.
Yeah, it's supposed to be locked, right? But okay, anyway, so the White House wants NASA to develop a solution to support the Artemis program, but to also maintain the United States' leading position in an effort, probably, to get to the moon. Activity on and around the moon is expected to intensify in the coming years, leading Washington to call for the establishment of coordinated lunar time. Isaac Schultz over at Gizmodo put this article together, but it's posted on QZ.com. The plan, first reported by Reuters, is for the U.S. Space Agency to develop coordinated lunar time by the end of 2026. Coordinating time systems on Earth is a relatively easy task, but due to relativity, it's considerably more challenging once the moon becomes involved. Due to the Einsteinian relativity, time passes differently due to Einsteinian relativity, but relativity. Time passes differently on the moon.
I'm not sure that's why it does, right? That's just explaining why it does.
Yeah. The same can be said for space in general. Time, or at least its perception, would slow down significantly if you were near a black hole because of the object's intense gravitational pull. The difference between how time passes on the moon versus the Earth is very slight, but it adds up. Even here on Earth, we have leap seconds and leap years. In fact, we have to remove a leap second because we're slowing down. We used to be speeding up. Now we're slowing down.
Right, I don't think we can keep up.
Yeah, now we're going to have daylights. Well, now universal savings time, where we have to speed up and slow down depending on the season. The White House's direction is not without precedent. Last year, ESA opened applications for companies to help develop a standardized moon clock. NASA launched its Deep Space Atomic Clock in 2019. to allow spacecraft to better navigate independent from communiques from Earth. So, one expert told Nature that a lunar clock would gain about 56 microseconds over the course of an Earth day. If humans on the moon operated with normal clocks, they would completely desynchronize from Earth time. Not if they stuck to Earth time.
Well, that's the thing. Like, wouldn't it perhaps make sense to stay on Earth time? It's kind of like when you travel somewhere and you stay on your origin time just so you don't really get out of whack.
Yeah. I mean, in the proximity to Earth, you would think that that's the major body, so you would stay there, and it's orbiting Earth, so you would stay synced to that.
Mean, it depends on who you need to use the walkie-talkie feature with on your watch. You know, is the person on Earth or are they on the moon?
Well,
like, aren't you communicating with people on the Earth anyway?
On Earth and on the moon, but if you're living on the moon, why not just stick? Because your daylight, that's pretty well known. We know we know about the moon daylight kind of processes, right? But why don't we just, okay, I think it's a problem looking for a solution that shouldn't be a problem. But if all of the time is synced to the Earth, then no matter how many moon cycles go by, it's still Earth facilitated. You know, you don't have different accounting because you're on the moon. You have Earth accounting.
Right?
So 24 hours on the moon is still 24 hours on the moon. It doesn't matter. This is weird. Now I'm going to have to look into this. I'm just afraid of what I'm going to find. I bet you it has to do with aliens. Anyway.
I think they're tinkering with the clocks.
There you go. 58.7 microseconds per day. Next article is over in ohmTown Daily. Oh, before I go too far, let me throw that link into the chat. There you go. Okay, the next article, though, is over in ohmTown Daily. Botswana offers to send 20,000 elephants to Germany, saying it should try looking after them instead of criticizing. Take that, Germany. Yeah, German elephants. I can't imagine something good coming from that. Botswana president. I'm gonna try it. Mokgweetsi Masisi threatened to send 20,000 elephants to Germany. It came after Germany suggested there should be limits on importing hunting trophies. Germans should live together with the animals in a way you are trying to tell us to.
Ooh. You think Germany should call the bluff and say, yes, send them?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think this might be the oddest threat I've ever heard of across countries.
Yeah. Said he wants to send 20,000, the president of Botswana wants to send 20,000 elephants to Germany to challenge the country's stance on hunting. So they're saying, suggested that there should be limits on hunting trophy imports due to poaching concerns. But I don't even understand what that means.
It seems like Germany's kind of like, what are you doing, Botswana? Why can't you, conserve animals, etc.? And then I think Botswana is saying, you don't really get what the issue is. So maybe we have overpopulation or something. I don't know.
Andy, let's see what this article says, because I don't know. I thought elephants were being hunted and protected like white rhinos.
I thought so too. I mean, I think we've seen other things that the populations are dwindling.
Yeah, the article is over at businessinsider.com. Michaela Friel is the author. Let's see. Germans should live together with the animals in the way you are trying to tell us to. Oh, I forgot about that. Not a big deal. So, let's see. Is there something in here?
It's exactly what I said.
Oh.
And I hadn't read it yet.
Botswana has more than 130,000 elephants, with an increase of 6,000 per year, according to Bild. It's a German newspaper magazine. The country made trophy hunting illegal in 2014. However, the ban was lifted in 2019 due to pressure from the public, The Guardian reported, because who doesn't want to hunt an elephant? You know, when you wake up in the morning and go, you know what I want to do? See, I understand like culling to limit population because we have this need to control nature around us instead of us, learning to deal with nature. Well, anyway, Masisi told the outlet that hunting is a means of controlling the elephant population, which has appeared to increase in recent years. I can't imagine 130,000 elephants being... I mean, how big is Botswana? Maybe it's...
Oh, I'll tell you.
There's too many per square mile, and they're all in inner city and taking up seats in the school and ending up in the emergency room for treatment.
It's 224,000 and change square miles.
224,000 and square change. So there's almost one elephant per
square mile?
Yeah. All right.
That doesn't seem like too many. Of course, I'm assuming some of that land is developed and not open space, so it might be too many.
I don't know. And it's growing by 6,000.
Export some of the elephants to some of the countries that are having reduced population.
There you go. Mail order elephants. I'm sure that...
Have you ever seen them transport, I think it's hippos, but...
By helicopter?
Have you seen a helicopter upside down?
Yeah.
It may not have been hippos, but it's some large animal.
Yeah. It's funny. And sad. Funny and sad at the same time. So, yeah, there you go. I mean, it's almost... on 130 versus 240 or something like that, thousand. So, I mean, it's dramatically less than 1 per square mile, but it's still a stark ratio between... I mean, it's almost 1 elephant per square mile. So you kind of got to go, yeah, all right. Masisi actually has a point. That would be funny.
And they have a population of 2.63 million people as of 2022.
Good God, man.
So it might be a little crowded. The elephants are probably in the houses with people based on that.
Yeah, I don't know. The populations are out of control everywhere, really. We're so far out of stasis, I think, with the world, with nature itself. But
exactly.
I wouldn't want anybody telling me that I can't have kids, just like I wouldn't tell anybody else that they can't have kids. So it's hypocritical to say otherwise. Now, it's pragmatic to sit there and say, hey, we need to manage population, but then you're almost like, what do they call that when you do population control? Like eugenics and stuff like that, right?
Right. I mean, people, it has a lot of negative connotations, even though it could be good for the environment.
Yeah, but that's where the limit is, right? The moment you even start talking about that, even if you don't even believe in it, which we don't, but the moment you start talking about it, somebody's like, yeah. So anyway, somebody actually went and blew up those guide stones, the ones that were supposed to, they were like dystopian post-apocalypse kind of things. And that's basically eugenics, is this dystopian mentality. Like, who is it that actually, gets to survive this dystopian world of population control? But somebody went and blew up these, I think they're called Georgia guidestones, in the dead of night. So. And I don't think they've ever found the person, nor do I think that they've actually cared to pursue it. But it's so dystopian to talk about this. But it's okay when we talk about animals, animals, elephants. We're trying to decipher how whales talk to each other, right? But they're cute.
We have a long way to go.
They're cute. not all elephants are cute, apparently, so we can go and delete them anytime we want, right? But
No, we should preserve the elephants. I'm just really astounding. It's astounding that Botswana has such a overpopulation issue, because I really don't think that's the case in a lot of other places.
well, I mean, in the size of the country per the population, and they're focusing on freaking elephants. Let's keep going. So the next article is over in ohmTown Daily. Florida man climbs cell phone tower, disconnects power in live video.
What?
Yeah, I chose that simply because of that title. According to a Miami television outlet, the man posed as a T-Mobile worker, bypassed other employees, and began climbing the tower. Climbing to the top, they were arrested while trying to... Oh, wait, no, this is a different thing. This video is about Spider-Man.
This has happened more than once?
Well, this is about somebody else in Seoul. They basically try and climb tall buildings. I think they refer to themselves as Spider-Man. I think that dude actually ended up meeting his demise or something like that. Anyway, Matthew Impelli over at Newsweek.com put this article together. But the Florida one, a Florida man climbed a cell tower on Wednesday in Miami and disconnected power running to the tower. On Wednesday, the Miami Police Department issued a traffic advisory on the website formerly known as Twitter, saying in Northwest 29th Street is closed from Northwest blah 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 due to a man who has climbed on a cellular phone tower. Oh, they captured it on video, showed the man climbing up the tower. As first responders are seen nearby, the man can clearly be seen reaching the top of the tower. The man posed as a T-Mobile worker and was able to bypass other employees and began climbing the tower.
You think they're going to hire him as a worker? I mean, he was pretty efficient, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like those people that show up on like American Ninja and everybody else is struggling, and then this like 12-year-old just flings themselves through every single obstacle and has a record time. Like, sign them up. So Miami police spokesperson Officer Michael Vega. Why does that sound like somebody from The Rookie?
It might be.
Told the Miami Herald that the man was also seen disconnecting other portions of the tower and attempting to throw them down to the ground. Vega said the officers were closing down some streets in the area. So is this a picture of... Oh, this is just like a stock footage thing from Silicon Valley, Fremont, California. Goodness. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't say anything. According to WTVJ in Miami, the man climbing the tower said, "No, I'm not done working yet," when he was told by first responders to come down. And
he's like, I haven't finished my shift.
Yeah, I still have 8 hours up here. Hold on. While speaking with WSVN-TV, a Miami police officer said those gray boxes that you see up there are actually very hot. We're looking at the dude that's up there. I'm pretty sure that he realizes that something is hot. So he knows what he's doing because he's avoiding touching those boxes. We're trying to talk him down to come down peacefully, and once he does come down, he's facing a slew of charges? Is that a typo? A slew of charges, perhaps?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not quite sure what a slew of charges is.
I thought I was going to say a litany of charges.
Maybe that's it, a litany. Maybe that's what it was, and somebody face rolled the keyboard.
Auto-corrected or something, yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So, police believe that some cell phone service may be impacted by the man's actions. Why is there not an update as to what happened?
Maybe they're still waiting for him to come down. He has to finish his shift.
Oh, yeah, all right.
I mean, this was today. It's not been that long ago.
Yeah, but okay. Let's just keep going then. The next article is over in Hedge Ideas. A Disney guest fell into a trash can on a ferry to the Magic Kingdom, and now he's suing. Do you remember what I titled this section?
No, but I want to hear it.
Trashed in the Magic Kingdom.
I mean, I was thinking like he must have taken a fast pass or something.
Oh, God. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I not put... Oh, I didn't put the Botswana article in the chat. There you go. Boink. Sorry, folks, for the quiet time. I had to go out and touch grass. For those who are listening via the podcast, but in the VOD, I was actually trying to fix the accounting problem. I'm still missing
Did you
an article.
encounter any elephants?
Yeah, I'm getting run over by German elephants. So yeah, let's see. Did we say who? Yeah, we already talked about that. All right, I'm just moving on. So, a Disney guest fell into a trash can on a ferry to the Magic Kingdom, and now he's suing. There was nothing magical about Justin Tripp's. Justin Tripp's Orlando journey. Okay, this could be a Disney cartoon. Justin Tripp's Orlando journey.
Right.
And make it about a Disney guest falling into a trash can that takes him to an alternate dimension that is the happiest place on Earth. Oh my God, you have to be kidding me. What a name. So Emily Rella is the author of this article over at entrepreneur.com. And did I throw it? Yeah, I did throw that into the chat. So apparently they filed a lawsuit on Monday in Orange County Court that alleges that the writer, that he was riding a crowded ferry at Disney World in Orlando and was instructed to stand up near the back of the boat. But as the boat approached the Magic Kingdom, it did not slow down per the lawsuit, which allegedly caused the boat to crash into the dock, causing Tripp to be thrown into a steel pole and eventually fall into a trash can, which may have saved him from being thrown overboard. Oh, well, that sucks that he got hurt, but I mean, I guess you wouldn't sue if you didn't get hurt. Who am I kidding? He would have sued. It's Disney.
Right.
So Tripp is alleging head and neck injuries and is seeking $50,000 in damages for disability, hospital expenses, and medical care, loss of the ability to earn money, and loss of capacity for the enjoyment of life at the happiest place on Earth. And only asking for $50,000? Come on.
Yeah, that's odd. I mean, what happened to the other passengers? Was he the only one who got knocked off the boat?
Oh, he must have been annoying and somebody pushed him. I mean, it sucks. This sucks that it would happen, but yeah. So Disney knew, or in the exercise of reasonable care, should have known of the actions and inactions that caused the elision. There's a typo. The collision or crash of the ferry into the dock and failed to correct such conditions. Yeah, well, I mean, if the vehicle has the capacity for somebody to get bumped and you fall over the railing, then you're going to have to basically toddler-proof the entire apparatus.
I mean, yeah, that's good. There was an adult. Yeah.
Yeah, and accidents happen, yes, but if it is nothing more than a bump and you get flung over
into a trash can, something's wrong.
Yeah. But see, then you go to these extraordinary lengths to like toddler proof the ferry, and then people are pissed off that you can't see anything because previous idiots scratch up the acrylic or damage the glass. You can't have glass because people break it left and right. Yeah. So at Magic Kingdom, parkgoers can take a ferry as a means of water transportation to and from select Disney World resort hotels straight to the park. So I don't know. I'd like to book one trash can.
You think you had fast pass for that? I know that's not the current pass, but that's the name that came to mind.
He had pole position. That's for sure.
Oh, he wanted to go to Autopia.
Oh, wait, that's an article. Is that where he was going? There's another article about that.
I'm just making that up.
Oh, that's what. Oh, okay. I'm looking so hard to find out where he was headed. Where was he going? Oh, it was a ride called After the Fall, or I don't know. I don't know. Anyway,
He was trying to recreate like when Rapunzel leaves
oh
the
right,
tower or something. I don't know.
that's right. That's pretty funny. Okay, we gotta keep going. The next article's over in ohmTown. ohmTown Daily, actually. So, doink. ETO gas used to sterilize medical devices ignites fears over link to cancer. A recently announced rule from the EPA would reduce an estimated 90% of ethylene oxide emissions from the facilities that use it over its links to cancer, but 10%.
That's okay.
Laura Coburn, John Capitaneas, Sally Hawkins, and Aria Young put this article together for ABC. Well, yeah, ABC News. It's at abcnews.go.com, but you can follow the link. After years of holding community meetings and knocking on doors, community activists are now seeing action about an invisible risk, raising concerns about cancer in their communities. A recently announced rule from the EPA says that they got to reduce an estimated 90% of ethylene oxide emissions from facilities. Around 20 billion medical devices used in the United States, including ventilators, syringes, catheters, and are sterilized with ethylene oxide, or ETO, every year. ETO is the most widely used, safe, and effective scientifically proven modality for medical device sterilization, not only in the United States, but worldwide, said Dr. Suzanne Schwartz, the director of the Office of Strategic Partnerships and Technology Innovation at the Center for Devices and Radiological. I don't know why I thought it was going to be something else. Anyway, and radiological health at the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. So it says, while there is no known risk to doctors and patients using ETO sterilized devices, the EPA announced in 2022 that long-term exposure to the gas emissions from facilities can increase the risk of cancers, including lymphoma, leukemia, stomach, and breast cancers. And there are 88 facilities that use ETO to sterilize medical equipment all around the country in 32 states and Puerto Rico. So they're
I
talking
assumed
about...
it was the people working in the sterilization
Yeah.
department or facility, but this sounds like just the general public.
So, oh, yeah, some residents nearby fear that emissions that escape these facilities could be threatening their health. But do they have evidence of it actually escaping?
Well, yeah, somebody had some losses in the area, but I mean, it's not necessarily attributable to that.
Right. But then again...
But if there's a significant cluster, I mean...
Right, where there's smoke, there's fire. While scientists say it's nearly impossible to link any one person's cancer to ETO, local residents raise concerns about their cancer diagnosis being related. Ural Grant, who's lived in South Memphis for more than 35 years, was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer in 2019. He says that many of the neighbors also have cancer. Well, so if all of them pop up, and if you find it everywhere, you know, it becomes a hot zone, and a federal investigation needs to take place. It shouldn't be a community-driven anything. The community should just basically say, look, in this area, we've documented X number of cancer patients. And like always, this type of stuff takes place around, quote unquote, working class, but let's just say people that are deemed expendable. Apparently, it's so nuts because we find out about this kind of stuff in towns where they're either Black Americans or Hispanic Americans deemed lower class. I hate even saying that phrase, lower class. And working class is really diminishing as well, because in this day, well, in every day and age of American society, everybody has been working class. The only ones that aren't working class are the upper echelon that has received their money from their families, which usually had predatory mechanisms in place. Anyway, so yeah, let's see. There isn't anything in here. I mean, what they're talking about is drawing attention to the fact that they're here, but there's no smoking gun, right?
Not yet, unless they're going to really do a comprehensive study, right? But getting people talking about it is the start. I mean, we've seen that with other environmental issues and cancer clusters.
Yeah.
And the fact that the EPA is changing the rule is a good thing going forward, but that doesn't address if it's actually caused it.
Yeah, they must know something, though, because they wouldn't pull the trigger on the effective solution if not for the fact that...
Right. I mean, to do that, they have to have figured out that it's not healthy in some way. Maybe not in the same way that the residents are saying, but...
Right. There's something going on here. So... for those of you who are interested in this, follow the link, because this is a much deeper dive than I'm kind of willing to go into. They have a picture that says the commercial sterilizers with elevated cancer risks, and it basically goes from where?
It's kind of like the whole middle swath of the country, right? Roughly. Yeah. I mean, there's some anomalies.
Florida, Texas, Oklahoma, Colorado, Nebraska, Utah, Puerto Rico, Missouri, Tennessee, Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, New Jersey, Massachusetts. So, yeah, it says people are tired. They're afraid to speak up or speak out, but that's up to us leaders to step in and say, hey, we hear you and we can make some things happen. It just takes the right team to do the right thing. I agree. It's quite fascinating, though, that 2 years ago they actually pulled the trigger on this, and yeah, for the first time in 50 years, the EPA released new rules for commercial sterilization using ETO, aiming to reduce emission by more than 90%. They know something. Okay, we need to keep moving, though. The next article is over in the Hatch Ideas channel, because it's all about business. Waymo, sorry, I have to say it like that. Waymo self-driving cars are delivering Uber Eats orders for the first time. This is the wildest thing. Self-driving cars are delivering Uber Eats.
How are they getting the food orders in the cars?
The car has to pull up and somebody from wherever they're eating is throwing it in the open window, and then they're driving off. Yeah. Uber Eats customers may now receive orders delivered by one of Waymo's self-driving cars in the Phoenix metropolitan area. What a trip. Alex Kohler over at CNBC.com put the article together. I don't know. I'd head outside to get your order. No. Drive up to my front door and figure out how to fling it out of the passenger seat onto my porch.
And they need like an ejection seat or something, and it can like catapult a food order to the house or whatever.
It has a really long pole that pushes your doorbell, and then you open it up.
Oh, there you go. Like,
and you hear this
Gadget style.
You hear this pneumatic. You hear this pneumatic, and then it goes like this. Hits you in the face. Oh God!
Hopefully you didn't have a milkshake or something in the order.
Oh God! I knocked something important over. It's okay. I'll deal with it later. So for Uber Eats, Phoenix is the 7th site with autonomous deliveries, but the first location where the delivery app will use Waymo vehicles, way more than the last time. I'm sorry. I don't know why I keep doing that. Uber Eats has already teamed up with robotics companies CartKen, which is the bucket version of the Ken doll that just carries stuff around.
I thought I was singing "I'm Just Ken."
I'm just CartKen. It's a merging of Ken and Cartman, So it's Ken, but with a really big body. Motional neuro serve robotics to pilot autonomous deliveries in other markets. Orders will be delivered.
We've gotten so lazy as a society now we can't even drive our delivery orders.
That's right. Well, and I guarantee you it's because they don't want to pay a human being. You hear on Reddit and other social media where people have stolen food, and like there was one that I saw where a McDonald's order was marked as delivered, and the photo was a picture of the food sitting in the delivery driver's car.
Oh, that's
But then the
interesting.
delivery driver took off with the food.
Well, we saw the family of raccoons stealing some food.
And now you know who's driving Waymo. Uber did not say whether it plans to bring Waymo deliveries to more cities in the future. Beyond Phoenix, Waymo's core ride-hailing service is available in parts of Los Angeles and San Francisco. They use the Jaguar I-Pace electric vehicles. That is some pricey.
To deliver McDonald's or whatever?
That's got to be a pricey vehicle, man. Anyway, the spokesperson said adding that Waymo, which is owned by Alphabet, doesn't disclose its fleet size. Wow, I'll take one of those. No.
Maybe you could place a delivery order to see it show up.
Yeah. Surprised people. Well, I guess it's got tracking all over it. Nobody's going to steal them. All right. Last article for tonight. Can't believe that. Did we really go through all the articles this fast? It's amazing.
I cannot imagine we did.
It's only taken 850 episodes for us to
get it in under
get it down to an hour. So the last article is in the Hatch Ideas channel. Rail Body wants staff to be amateur meteorologists. Network Rail aims to train hundreds of staff as it tries to tackle the effects of climate change. So you got to report.
Not quite following this one.
Hey, everything around me is on fire, so I'm marking this as global warming.
Oh, okay.
Water just splashed me, and I'm in the middle of the desert region of the track. I'm gonna count this as climate change.
We're going down the track at 100 miles per hour. Oh wait, there went a fill in the blank tornado, hurricane, whatever. Like,
climate change.
Is that really where we want the focus?
Do you get more pay because you have an additional skill, like professional development? You know, you get another degree and you get a pay bump or something like that. So in this, you're amateur meteorologist and you work on the network rail lines. So
this has to be like other duties as assigned.
Oh, that would suck. Come on. Tom Espiner over at bbcnews.com or BBC News, which is at bbc.com. They have a whole new layout. It's very like a Washington Posty or New York Timesy. It's very, they used to be much more colorful.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, so bbc.com, follow the link. It's not in chat yet, but it will be here in a second. Doink. So it says here, Network Rail is aiming to turn hundreds of staff into amateur meteorologists as part of the plan. Sorry. There. To deal with the effects of climate change, it wants to help staff to interpret weather forecasts to make better decisions during storms or heat waves. What? The public rail body said it will spend 2.8 billion pounds over the next 5 years on efforts to cope with extreme weather. So this must be a holistic budget line, not training these people.
Yeah, this is not for the training.
The extreme weather of the past year has seen an unprecedented 14 named storms that have taken its toll on our railway, with experts predicting more of the same to come. Really, I think you need to have safety and quality of service engineers going through all of the lines to make sure that the welds are holding, that the track is stable, that the substrate is sound. Not a bunch of people that are distracted by other clients and other duties. Come on. It's led to Network Rail, which owns and maintains the railways, relentlessly having to rebuild embankments and cuttings due to more landslips caused by heavier rain in a way that its predecessor British Rail never had to, a spokesman said. Yeah, well, you
I don't know what the staffing is like in the British rail system, but we have seen a fair amount of union activity. And I know in the US, they don't have enough people on the trains, so this is pretty fascinating that they're trying to tack on additional things.
Yep. The body said that hundreds of key operational staff will attend Network Rail's new Weather Academy to help make them amateur meteorologists. Workers will be trained at the Academy, which is a collaboration between Newcastle University, the Met Office, the Met Desk, a private weather forecasting firm. A spokesperson for the body added, by training with actual meteorologists, our people will be better placed to make positive decisions when there is extreme weather, from speed restrictions to, in extreme circumstances, closing lines. Yeah, good luck. One of these amateur meteorologists says, hey, we need to close the line because it's flooding. And there's going to be some other numbnuts that's going to sit there and go, we are not closing the line until somebody's underwater.
Exactly.
Except they'll say it with a British accent.
Or worse, they'll say, oh, it's fine. Let's keep going. Like, why isn't the management of the company making decisions about closing down a line?
Oh, I'm sure that it'll have to go all the way up regardless. And it'll just be these people that are sitting there going, well, why didn't you tell your boss? You're one of the amateur meteorologists. Why didn't you tell the boss with better data that it needed to take? It's going to be pointing, shit rolls downhill. So it's going to be finger pointing all the way down. So it said just deploying new technology would allow trains to run at higher speeds during stormy weather. What? They're just talking about extreme circumstances and closing lines, and now they're saying that deploying new technology would allow trains to run at higher speeds during stormy weather. And then they talk about inadequate drainage and heavy rain can cause serious, even fatal incidents on the railways. In 2020, a train derailed at Cartmont in Aberdeenshire after hitting debris that had washed out of an improperly installed drainage ditch, and that killed 3 people and injured 6. So, yeah, they want to spend more to spend less, ultimately not paying the people that should be there doing a more expansive, holistic analysis of the rail safety by making Joe, the guy who also facilitates punching tickets, be an amateur meteorologist. Head on a swivel, Joe. Head on a swivel. Look around. You might, the lives you save might include your own, but no pressure. Nope. You're now an amateur meteorologist. All right. Fewer than 2/3 of trains in the UK were on time between October and December 2023, and roughly 5% of the trains were canceled. Why? I think they should figure out why. Anyway.
About the train timeliness?
Yep. Well, that's it, folks. We are done for tonight. Look at that. It's amazing. Can't believe that. I must have counted wrong. Right?
I know. I'm thinking, did we do 10 articles?
No, we didn't.
How many did we do?
Hold on.
9?
Yeah, hold on a second. So, yeah, that's the dynamic baggage pricing. That's the night shift. That's the moon. That's the German elephants. Oh, that's what's missing. So we didn't talk about Fisker.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Hold on, folks. Let's do that. Let's do this at the very end. We might as well. So this we're gonna augment this with the last article for tonight being over in Late Night Geeks, which is another show that I've actually wanted to do. AI would not be available for that. That's when they recharge, and they won't be available. But the Late Night Geek show is basically talking about late at night while playing games, talking about gaming and gadgets and tech and stuff like that. So anyway, Fisker has been, I've always actually really loved the design of Fisker vehicles. Their originals were really cool. The newer ones look really cool. I'm telling you, they have a really great aesthetic. But boy, do they fall short, apparently. So much so that MKBHD did a review of 2 now, and both times just drove another nail into the coffin.
Good.
Yeah.
It was like some things have changed was like his conclusion. Like it was a resounding meh.
Yeah. But beautiful aesthetic. I really love, I mean, and it's definitely a more like a bulldog kind of stance, aggressive kind of, not a flowy, soft rounded kind of vehicle. And it's electric. Well, they have really innovative tech in it, but I think the tech is ineffective tech. Anyway, Fisker's Ocean SUV investigated for doors that won't open. I
guess the question is that when you're trying to get into your car or get out of your car?
I think it's just your car. So there is the Fisker Ocean. This matte paint job is really awesome. They have a badging that puts other vehicles to shame. I mean, this thing is not tiny. It's almost like Captain America's shield. But some of the stuff they have in it is just goofy. Anyway, Sean O'Kane is O'Kane is the author's name. They're over at TechCrunch.com. And the National Highway Transportation Safety, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has opened up a third investigation into EV startup Fisker Ocean SUV, this time centered on problems getting the doors to open. It says a new notice that it has received 14 complaints from owners who have not been able to open the doors to their Fisker Oceans, either from the outside or the inside. This is the problem I think that MKBHD had with the fob. He had to keep pushing it to unlock.
Yes, and in fact, he mentioned that during his first review on the older software.
Yeah, and then they updated it, but they have to update it manually. It doesn't have over the air. So the newer Fisker Ocean SUV has over the air, apparently. But there's thousands of these Fisker originals that are out there that have to go into the shop for manual updates. Absurd. So even in the second one, he said that it had California mode. I don't know. I think it was already unlocked, so he could just open it up. It would have been really interesting if he was stuck inside. But he wasn't. So customers are reported getting stuck in and out of their car to Fisker for months, according to internal documents that TechCrunch exclusively reported on in February. It
does tie it to the fob.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I get... how come you can't get out of the vehicle if you're in it, though? It should have mechanical failover. Most cars don't. But I think this is something that needs to be addressed, because if your car crashes into water and shorts out, if it only uses electronic servos, no mechanical failsafe, you're screwed. You have to break a window. And like what happened with this one, apparently there was a billionaire that met their demise in a Tesla because the reinforced glass couldn't be broken by first responders.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was somewhere else, and we aggregated it into ohmTown as well. So a potential partnership with Nissan fell through. They are slashing their prices by 39%. They reported just $121 million in the bank. They paused production of the Ocean because of So I was joking the last time we talked about this when we were talking about MKBHD being the cause of Fisker's like implosion. The timing couldn't have been more perfect because his report came out of it being a shit show, and they imploded publicly, even though it had been steaming away for a while. And then in his 2.0 review, he mentions the very thing that I talked about, which was, could it have been MKBHD that drove a coffin nail in? And he addressed it pretty flatly, like, well, he doesn't know if he added to the discussion of that, but it isn't
They had
anybody else's
existing
fault.
problems and complaints. Yeah.
Yeah. Regardless of everything that people are talking about, it isn't anybody's problem. It isn't my problem. It isn't MKBHD's problem. It isn't anybody's problem other than Ocean and the people who bought the vehicle. And it's really subpar for an EV, a luxury EV at that. And I really want Fisker to succeed because I want more competition. And I love the idea of some of their stuff. They have like a solar panels that are built in. They've had this mandate, I guess, in all of their SUV, in all of their designs, even the original Fisker, it had solar panels built into the top of the car. But then when you look at the data for it, in a week worth of outdoor charging, it only added 6 miles to the charging system, which, if it costs $25,000 to produce that roof, it's worthless. You know,
Yeah.
I have to sit out in the desert for a month to charge it enough to get out of the desert. Good luck. Anyway, yeah. There's more over here at this article at techcrunch.com. The link is in chat. Now we're at 10. I messed up laying out the show. Sorry about that, folks. That's okay, though.
That explains why we were moving so quickly.
Yeah, now we're exactly at 1 hour. Okay, well, that's it, folks. Back into the party bus. We race down to Main Street. And that's it. We're done. So, thanks for coming. If this is your first instance of finding us, then be sure to like us over on twitch.tv/ohmTown and watch us over on YouTube. Again, all you have to do is do a search for ohmTown on YouTube. You'll find us. Or just go to youtube.com/ohmTown. There's a Patreon. There's a Discord. There's a TikTok. We've added 5 other shows. We're kind of steaming away. Actually, how many shows are we actually up to? 7 total, right?
We have 7, including the ohmTown Daily.
Yeah. So, and those are on the weekends. ohmTown Daily is every day. Anyway, that's it for tonight. I'll see you all later. And the sentient AI up above me will see you later too. I'm Mayor Watt. Over there is ohmTown.com, and up there is the sentient AI that keeps me out of trouble sometimes.
Good night, ohmTown citizens. We will see you tomorrow. Be sure to sign up so you're notified when we're live. We might be a little bit off time tomorrow.
Oh, right. Yeah, and next week. Next Thursday or Friday. Not sure. Mayoral duties. And that's it. Thanks, everybody. See you soon. I'm gonna have to trade my Fisker in for $1.